generation to use.
Comes as the Chief Executive of United Utilities faced questions from MPs today over the water company's performance.
Yeah, and this just a day after price rises for water bills were confirmed, with bills due to rise by more than 30% over the next 5 years.
Well, United Utilities say work is being done, but admitted improvements still need to be made.
Our political correspondent, Nisha McNally, has the story, but first, a warning that her report contains some rather unpleasant images.
The Northwest's lakes and rivers hide a dirty secret, and on the banks of the River Irk in Manchester, a sign of what lies beneath the surface.
The water company use these as an overflow system, so stop water backing up in pipes and overwhelming the sewage network, and they just pump the water straight out into the river untreated, and as you can see, unfiltered. All sorts of sanitary litter, wet wipes. It's absolutely disgusting, and that's what's going in our rivers, and our rivers will never be fit for our children and our pets to play in, which is what we all want.
It's what bosses at United Utilities say they want to. But in the year 2023-4, they were the worst performing water company for discharging sewage. Today, their CEO, grilled by MPs, blamed major storms, flash flooding and power cuts.
Particularly rural parts of our community in Cumbria and Cheshire are fed by overhead lines and therefore susceptible to these forms of interruptions.
He's covering these problems.
No, but what we are seeing is a significant increase. So we're seeing a significant increase in the number of those storms and the impact that they're having.
Water pollution is a problem the Northwest's Victorian infrastructure has thrown up for decades amid high-profile protests on our lakes and coasts. There have been more than 100 sewage discharges in the last 24 hours alone, but fixing the problem won't come cheap. Water bills are set to rise 32% over the next 5 years, and also on the up, water bosses' pay packets, as this Northwest MP explains.
Your base pay last year was 690,000, a pension of 86,000, benefits of 29,000, a bonus of 420,000. That's 1.4 million pounds. How are these levels of pay justified?
I'm very alive, as is the board, in terms of the focus on executive remuneration. 2/3 of my remuneration is aligned to outcomes for customers and for the environment.
But back on the banks of the River Irk, customers aren't convinced.
Because we're paying so much, it should be all filtered now. Don't let the dogs in there, all sorts in there. There's a bit of bacteria, that can't be good.
But when you come in, it warms up, the smell is really, really bad. It's overpowering. So when we come out in summer months, we don't come this area.
It stinks. It's not nice at all. And it's a regular occurrence. It's not just once in a while, once every few months. It's every other week.
United Utilities is investing more than £13 billion across the system, but Mike worries the plans aren't going to work, leaving us a 21st century nation stuck with a 19th century network.
It makes common sense to split rainwater from sewage rather than try and treat everything together. It's an impossible task. It's like King Canute trying to hold back the tide. It cannot happen. And unless they change their plans and they change their ideas, then my children and my grandchildren are going to have exactly the same problem that they've got today, despite huge amounts of money being poured, public money, bill-paid money being poured into United Utilities.
United Utilities say their next results will be out in a couple of weeks and show discharges are down 20%. Their hope being that progress will be enough to stem the anger now flowing fast in their direction. Nisha McNally, ITV News.